Sam's an interesting person, Chief and Gary. We both know him amazingly well, and he's a freak of a man. What he is he is, I think, the most unbelievably loyal person I've ever met. And he's a good friend of Jason Ackermanis, and the loyalty that's come out of Sam towards Jason over the last week has been what you'd expect from a man that loyal.
Exacerbated by the fact that he played the role.
The role he played, exactly.
In his demise.
So there's no doubt.
I think that showed. There was an
element
a sense of guilt about the way he so staunchly defended Jason Ackermanis.
And Joe, his name is in the official termination papers to Jason Ackermanis. Sam Newman's name is in that official.
But just on that quickly,
legal letter.
before, and Campbell Rose was, the Bulldog people don't want to go back over the incidentals, but at that meeting it was Ben Fordham from Channel 9, Stephen Price from Channel 9 and Sam Newman. Jason's gone to that meeting and loaded a number of questions to be asked for the inner workings of the club. That isn't a meeting with a handful of friends. That's a meeting with 4 people who are pretty prominent in the media. So for Jason not to equate that with leaking information out of a football club just says you're delusional. It says you don't understand the world that you live in. And I think he does. But I think he prefers not to when it suits him. And obviously Sam was in a position that he probably maybe wishes that he didn't use that information on the footy show, and he did. And I can understand why
he may regard those 4 people as close friends, mate, or those 3 people.
Ben Fordham had never met him before.
Okay. Maybe he wasn't a good friend.
And Ben rang into our show and was and Jason.
Well, we asked these questions to find out facts, and I'm glad.
Well, Ben was the person. Jason was sort of saying, "I'm not the leak," and I think quite mischievously it was pointed at Rodney Eade in that situation.
Didn't mention Ben.
Ben rang into our show the next morning. He said, "I was there. I was there.
Oh,
I'm
really?
excited the fact I was there, and I can tell you all about it."
Style.
He was talking to me.
Big wobbler.
Big wobble.
Well, there was a little bit of that.
Put me in the story.
But the other thing with Sam, as well as what you're just saying, which is all fair enough, is that he is also, I think, Gary, if not the most stubborn man I've ever met, in the top 2. And we have sat in our office with him how many times in the last 2 weeks saying, Sam, this leading teams, this 360-degree feedback, it is in every football club and has been now for 5 years. It is a staple part.
Well, not necessarily, but variations.
Variations exist in every AFL football environment. That is how things are dealt with now. Punishments are handed out by playing groups, not by the chairman in my case and Chief's case to the board. Doesn't happen like that anymore. That is how footy's across. It's rubbish. It's crap. It's absolute junk. And he storms out, and then he comes back in a minute later and gives us another burst about it.
Because he's always so welcoming of different viewpoints, because he enjoys debate and argument. But he doesn't quite get his head around this. And he threw up Polly Farmer, or Polly Farmer's name was brought into the mix somewhere along the way, and because he's Sam's greatest ever player. And the fact is that Polly, apart from the way he played, was pretty divisive himself. He wasn't all that in the end. It sort of went a bit pear-shaped. He would struggle today, Polly. As great a player as he is, to sort of fit into the environment of the modern game, and that to Sam is almost the most sacrilegious thing.
How was Sam after the show? How did he think it all played itself out?
No, he was fine.
Seemed to be fine.
He was fine.
You never know with Fossil.
He doesn't. He always asks you,
go all right?
Anyone watching?
He really is a walking cadaver, isn't he? But we love him. We do love him.
Joe B, did he tear up during the end of that spiel?
He got moist.
Surely not.
I said that to him at the end.
His eyes.
I said, I thought I saw some pink eye right at the end there.
No.
A little moisture.
So I must, watching him go, and you think, it's hard to get a read on the great Foss, but he's a staunch and absolutely in everything he said. Yeah. There's no showmanship in that at all. He's delivering that with every heart and soul that he had.
Absolutely.
Staggering.